I want something official.
This is, hey, how much more time do we got? This is, you talk because I'm going to throw up. And, do you get that? All right. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to streamofconsciousnesspodcast.com. This is Joel Roadcone Cox. I am Joey Red Basket Stout. This is Jonah... What did I already use? Roco. It's Solo Cup Roth, and this is Laura Coca-Cola Roth. And thanks for tuning into the show.
That was painful.
But that was not that bad. I've done way worse.
I almost cringed. That's almost as bad as when I do them off the fly.
I had stuff. I've also had a lot of drinks. So.
Okay, let's try this. Welcome again to Stream of Consciousness.
You are not double dipping.
I want to see if I can do it.
You are not going to double dip my intro.
I want to see if I can do it on the fly.
You son of a bitch.
I want to see if I can do it on the fly.
No, go ahead. Fine.
I am your host, Joel, not double dipping Cox.
That's terrible already.
Upset Stout.
I'm not upset.
Jonah, chilled out Stout, Ralph. And I already screwed it up. And Laura, sitting on the corner, Ralph.
How do you like that? Eat a butt.
No. Oh, dear.
It's going to be that kind of show. Of course. Bongo.
Can't forget Bongo.
Bongo, Bodacious Roth.
Dude, you're a natural.
See?
It's not that tough.
Let's see if Jonah can do it. Come on, Jonah. Can you give us 4 names on the fly?
It's not easy.
It's super easy whenever we're not recording. As soon as he says...
Yeah,
all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, wheelhouse.
I call myself Joe all the time, so don't feel bad.
Joel only whenever you introduce me first, he'll go Joe, blah, 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 Stout, and then he'll go, and I am Joe, Joel. He's done it like 5 different times. What are we going to talk about today, Joel? What would you guys like to talk about? You have anything you want to throw in there? No, they're absolutely not. Do not point the finger at me.
They're just along for the ride.
All right.
Let's just go back through the couple of weeks and see what we can talk about.
Let's talk about...
birthday season is coming to an end.
Birthday season is coming to an end. Well, okay, so you guys don't know this one. Birthday season is November, December, January, February, where I have 4 kids and their birthdays are November, December, January, February. Don't ask me their ages because we're in the middle of birthday season and I haven't caught up yet. You know how like whenever you sign your checkbook and for like the first couple months of the new year you always sign like 2017 even though it's 2018? Yeah. That's where I am with my kids' ages. Like I forget what ages they are. People all the time, like because I'm delivering furniture, I'm in like 20 some houses a day and you start just idle chit-chatting with people. You just throw whatever out just to kind of get talking because it's weird putting somebody's furniture together for 30 minutes and not saying a word to them, especially when they're staring at you putting together their TV stand or whatever. So like I start like BSing with people and they'll go and then I'll say something about the kids or whatever. They go, oh, how many kids you have? And I go, 4 kids. What are their ages? And every single time, even though I answer this question literally daily, they go, how old are your kids? And I go, shit. I can't remember. And I sound like the world's worst dad. But, maybe I am, but, no, there's definitely worse dads, because my dad, I remember that son of a bitch.
A lot of tickets and smokes and never came back.
Right. He'll be back any minute now, I swear. No, actually, my dad's been dead for years, so if he comes back now, it's going to freak me out. He's not coming back without some smelling salts and a serious warming blanket. So like my kids now they're going to be or already are 14, 11, 9, and 4.
Here you go.
See, I got it now.
Yeah,
I can't do it whenever the pressure's on though. But so we refer to the winter time of year is no longer winter for me. It's birthday season. So that's
makes sense.
That was a long explanation as to why you just said the words winter or birthday season.
Well, I'd like to point out that I've been to pretty much every birthday party since 2004.
Not even pretty much. You've been to literally every birthday party. You have not missed one yet.
That's impressive.
Well, the one year there was a really bad snowstorm. But
I'm fairly certain Joel's been to more of them than I have.
But I didn't get the memo of how bad the weather was until I was actually halfway there.
That was like Brody's third birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. That was a nightmare. I can't believe you made it out. Like, nobody made it out. And Joel had, like, a 2-hour drive. We lived out in Rochester at the time.
Yeah.
We weren't even, like, close.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I remember driving out to Cranberry and then taking a left, and then I'm like, yep, well, the GPS said go this way, so I'm going to go this way.
No, you did. You made it. I don't know how. You must have sled rode home, but you did make it.
And then went to Kmart and bought some fleeces that were on clearance.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
You were like, wow, the roads are really terrible. I better go shopping. That's how your mentality worked on that one.
Well, it's already out. It's not like I have to go out again.
Did you buy snowshoes just in case you had to, like,
No, I had
trek
boots.
home?
I actually had steel-toed boots from college still. I'm prepared for the weather. Like, if I know it's going to rain, I got boots. If I know it's going to be cold, I have my jacket. If it's going to be hot, I got my shorts.
You're a lunatic.
But I'm always comfortable.
Or maybe so, but you're still crazy. Because I would have... Listen, the only reason I showed up to that birthday party is because I already lived where the birthday party was. Otherwise, it would not have happened. I do not... And that's what sucks about this job that I have now. We're out in the cold and the weather and everything, and I've kind of went through this in the show before, so I won't really reiterate it. But the person who's in charge of deciding whether we work or not starts at 9 o'clock. We start at 6 in the morning. I'm already 3 hours. I'm halfway through my day before this person goes, oh, you know what? Today sucks. Maybe we shouldn't put anybody out on the road. I've been on the road many times. The last time we actually had a day off, we got called off several weeks back, about a month or so ago, when the weather was really, really, really crappy. We had this horrible day, and they were like, everybody hold off a little bit till we figure out what's going on. And then it was like an hour or so later, they were like, okay, we rescheduled all the deliveries. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, finally somebody wised up and said, we should look out for these guys. Maybe we shouldn't be sending 40 trucks out on the road in this crazy weather that the news is like, do not leave your house under any circumstances. And they're like, no, you guys are fine. That doesn't apply to you. But it turns out they didn't really call us off. We had 16 people call off. Like, 16 people called in and went, I'm definitely not coming in today. And they went, oh shit, what do we do? Just let's pretend like it was our idea. Everybody stay home. That's the only reason we got the day off. I didn't know. They called us off and I was like, good for them. And then like 2 days later, I found out that no, everybody just called off work except for my dumb ass. Like the whole department. 16 people went, this is not worth it. I'd rather not get paid today. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to lose a sick day over this.
I feel like, for me, it's like, I made it to work. Nobody else is here but me. I win.
It's a matter of pride with you. That's not even like something you should be happy about. Like, you just literally are like, I'm too stupid to stay home. Like, you were just like, screw it, I'm getting out there.
Well, here's the thing. I've mentioned this multiple times before. There have been times I'm like driving around. I remember I did a job once. I was out in Millville, and it was supposed to snow. I didn't know how bad it was going to snow. I love the hill. I'm like, if it gets any worse, I can't get down that hill without hitting somebody. So I trekked up half a mile up the hill, did the job, came out. It was like Snowmageddon.
I love that your apartment is more technology than it actually is apartment. You have more things that plug in than you have anything else, and you didn't know how bad the weather was going to be.
No, they said it was going to snow, but they didn't expect it to be like that bad.
But I have like 3 apps on my phone that tell me, like, I wake up in the morning and my phone goes, bing, stay the fuck in bed. Like, my phone tells me to not even bother.
This was also 2005.
You could have been like,
said that.
hey Siri, what's the weather like outside? And
Siri
would've
wasn't
been
born yet. So I come out, I'm like, I gotta drive home in this. So I got 28, it's like, no, it wasn't plowed. There was like 2 inches of snow on the thing. Like, don't hit your brakes. Hopefully no one's gonna be on the road. Made it home. But like the day before your wedding, that hurricane happened. And it took me 3 hours to get home.
Yeah, but that wasn't in like winter though. That was like
No.
summertime where.
But like I get stuck in whatever weather that microburst in 2002. I forgot my wallet. I had to go back to work. Guess who got stuck in it? This guy.
I remember that. That was we were actually up at some friend's house my uncle and I that we went up.
Same uncle for Tom Petty.
Yes, my uncle that we have the Tom Petty
Callback.
music.
Live
Yes.
show.
If you don't understand that reference, start listening to the show more often. So my uncle, we went up to some friends of the family's house, and we hunt. So, I mean, if you don't believe in killing animals, then sorry, go fuck yourself. Whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't kick puppies or anything like that. But I go hunting. But in all
Do you
fairness,
slap them
for
for their
anybody,
powers?
what's that?
Do you slap them for their powers?
I slapped them for the power. No, actually,
Callback live show.
Listen, my hunting rate, if you were like, don't kill animals, that's a horrible thing, then you'd be very happy with the amount of deer that I have killed in like the past 20 years that I've been hunting. Because it's like none. So I'm very terrible at it. But, so basically what I do is every end of November, beginning of December, I go out and just sit in the cold in a tree for about 8 hours, then I go inside. But my buddy Jesse and I, this is back in 2002, I was 12 years old, and so we were basically...
No.
92. 92 was the big year that we had the snow, not 2002. I was 22, but actually I probably got caught in that one too. Excuse me, 92, because now I'm changing because I've already started the story, so we're going to follow through with the storm of 1992. Jesse and I, 12 years old, it was like one of my first years out hunting. We basically, because we were the kids, we were like the hunting dogs, because we didn't have a hunting dog, so they were like, send those boys out. Like his grandfather was like, that kid there and that kid there. I don't even think he knew that one of us was his grandkid. He was just like old school, and like he was like the man's man, and he smelled like tobacco, and he probably snored the N-word, and he had never hugged his children a day in his life. Like, he was that kind of guy. So he's like, send them up the field and then around the way. Like, we were going to chase deer to everybody else. Like, that was our job at the time because we were too stupid to do anything else.
Did they make sure to put you in brown furry coats?
No. I'm pretty sure. I think I was wearing, like, sweatpants and a t-shirt or something. No, I was bundled up, but I wasn't, like... So, but we're like walking through the snow, and this was like a monster snow, and we were, I mean, at 12 years old, I was like 5 foot tall or something. So like we're walking through with our rifle above our head like we're Marines or something. We're going through boot camp here.
I see barbed wire in the forest.
Well, we're like, yeah, right. We're trekking through this snow across this monstrous field that's like 3 football fields long, and it's
Dear
like,
Martha,
it's like
I might not make it back today, but I'll let you know that I loved you, and I will always love you, and I'll give you my permission to remarry.
I did. I had my blood type written on my boot and stuff in case they find me frozen to death. So we're walking through, and the snow is like halfway up our thigh, and we get to this like certain point where the hill dips down and then goes back up again. Now, I'm not from this area, so I did not know that. All I knew was the snow went straight across, and we literally sink down in the snow. I swear to you, it was chest high. I'm in the snow with my rifle above my head, trying to push my way through the snow at chest high, and I'm like fighting my way through it, and I'm like walking, and I move 3 inches. So, like, we're, like, pushing the snow out of our way with our elbows because, like, we have a mission to do. We have to accomplish this. So we finally get out. I mean, it was, like, probably 10, 15 minutes. We fought 10 feet to get out of this snow. We were both looking at each other like, we're going to die. What do we do? We got icicles hanging out of our nostrils and snot bubbles popping on us. So
now I picture you had to climb this hillside. You take your nose icicles and you use them to climb.
I speared them in to climb up. So we finally get out and we're like back to just where it's like halfway up our thigh again. But now we like then have to cut down to this field and walk through like all the trees. But the trees thankfully caught enough of the snow that we were like could at least like step through it. So we finally we go through. This is like 3 hours that we were out walking like the length of this field and then walk back through the trees, and we get back to the end. Nobody saw a deer, and his grandfather was like, "It's about damn time." We're like, we almost died. And we're like, oh my god, that sucks. And he's like, all right, let's do the next field. And we were like, no. That was the snow of 92. That's how I I don't even remember where that story started. I'm sorry.
You don't remember from 1992?
Yeah. It's 2018. No, I don't remember
No,
92.
you know what I remember from 92?
What do you remember from 92?
There's a rash of news stories at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. My mom was a school nurse for the school I went to. So I get a ride with her. So I get up early, clean out the car, and take care of that stuff. Because I'm not riding the bus. Screw that. I get a ride directly to school and, like, screw that. So the news is on. And where there's a rash of crazy stories. There's the woman who had asthma, and a 4500 pillow, and pulled the wrong thing, put it in her mouth, and pulled the trigger.
Oh.
There was a woman who was on the bus. She looked beside herself and saw a pair of eyes looking back at her. Just a pair of eyes on the bus seat. There's a rash.
Wait. You gotta clarify. Was she insane or did this legitimately happen?
There were a pair of eyes on the bus seat next to her.
Did they ever figure out where they came from?
I don't remember. I just remember that was
Human eyes?
Yes.
Like a person's eyes?
Yes.
You don't forget something like I get if you like left your Walkman on the bus. Who leaves their eyeballs somewhere?
There was a
This is like Sammy Davis Jr. and some other dude with a glass eye were like, check this out. Let's freak out. Was it during Halloween where they like trying to spook somebody?
It wasn't Halloween. And then there was the rash of pizza delivery guys getting shot, which ended my wanting to be a pizza delivery guy because I thought it'd be the coolest job in the world.
That was your dream job.
I was like,
listen, pizza delivery guys getting shot might have been the best thing that's ever happened in your life then. If you were like, man, I really want to be a pizza delivery guy when I grow up.
It sounded like a cool job.
Some kids like want to grow up to be an astronaut or be in the army. Somebody wants to be like a marine or something.
Well, think
You were like,
about it.
I want to deliver pepperoni pizzas.
Think about it. You get a car, you drive to someone's house, you give them pizza, they give you money on top of what they paid. And you're already doing your job. You're double dipping. You're getting a tip and your pay.
That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
I was 14.
Listen, no, okay, now I started attacking you, but I actually have to redact that because I probably, up until like, and even beyond like the point of becoming a server, that was like my dream job. Like, I wanted to serve tables. Like, I wanted to become...
Well, you
I
lived
remember
your dream.
being a kid. Like, I wanted to do
You
that.
lived your dream for how
I
long?
know, right?
How long did you work at Quaker Steak?
12 years.
You lived your dream for 12 years, Joe.
Well, it was...
You were done.
It slowly evolved from dream to
No.
recurring nightmare.
Complete nightmare.
Yeah, at a certain point, like, still to this day, if somebody goes, you know what I'd really like is a salad, I go, no! Like, I shiver a little bit. Like, no, that's not one of those things. If somebody orders a dessert and I'm in a restaurant, I flip them off. I don't care if I'm with them or not. Like, somebody can be 3 tables down, they go, you know what sounds really good? A milkshake. I go, you're a fucking asshole, man! You don't even realize it!
Okay, wait. Educate me. Like, what
Okay.
is wrong with ordering
Have the
dessert?
same.
No. Okay, as a
question.
server, everybody thinks that, like, as a server, your job is like, you go, what do you want to drink? Oh, okay, I'll bring you your soda in a second. And then you give them the soda, and then you go, then they say they want a salad and a steak, and you go, okay. And you ring it in, and then you just sit around fiddling with your pee-pee or picking your nose
You
or
don't
whatever.
do that at
until-
work, Joe. That's why you only lived there for 12 years.
First of all, don't tell me what to do at work. I'll do what I want. But no, being a server is there's a lot more to it than people
Yeah.
evaluate because you only see what happens at your particular table.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when you're thinking like, I ordered a salad. How long does it take to make a salad and bring it out? It takes a lot longer than you might anticipate. Plus, I'm also taking care of 5 or 6 other tables at the time.
Okay. So you as the server is responsible for preparing the salad, not the kitchen.
It depends on where you work.
Okay.
Different places, different rules, but a lot of times, yes.
Okay.
And there's certain, like, salads were always my biggest nightmare because we did have to build our own salads where I worked. So going back, nothing was ever pre-prepped. And it wasn't like you go back and there's just one spot where it's lettuce, tomato, and onions and croutons all just sitting there ready to go. You go back and the lettuce is empty and the tomatoes are in a different spot and they look nasty. And the croutons, who the hell knows where croutons are ever? Like, you can never find a friggin' crouton to save your life. Like, if somebody went, give me a crouton in the next 30 seconds or you die, I would just be like, just pull the trigger, man. time. Like, this is just not even, I'm not even going to waste my time. Like, this is not good for me or for you. I'm sure you have things to do. You got to get on with your day. I got to get on with my day. Like, let's just kill me and then go find somebody else to bully.
That really seems like an epic reboot of Speed.
That's what
Croutons!
now! Bring me my croutons!
Pop quiz, hot shot, or the croutons.
What do you do? What do you do? But like, so, and there's always there's a fire burning in the corner constantly in a restaurant. Like you just and as a server, you just smile and pretend like everything's okay, and you walk away, and people are like, why is it taking so long to get my Pepsi on the table? And you're like, because the Pepsi's out. Now I gotta not only go from this side of the restaurant to the other side of the restaurant, up a set of stairs, go into the back, find a pop box, take off the old one, disconnect it. It never wants to disconnect. I gotta reconnect the new one. I gotta then put it on. It has to be the right side up because they say this side up, this side storage. And then you gotta reconnect. Then you gotta run back down. Then you gotta flush the system until the Pepsi actually starts coming out, so you're not just giving somebody soda water. And then you gotta fill up the cup, and then you come back to the table, and they're like, what the deuce, man? I ordered this 5 minutes. You're like, dude, you don't even know what I just went through to get you your damn drink. So, and like, there's always something like to that effect.
Yeah.
And it sounds simple, but it's tedious and it's constant and it's nonstop. And when somebody orders, say, a dessert or a milkshake, you then have to chase down ice cream and stuff like that. And it doesn't sound like anything overwhelming. And if I had an infinite amount, like if you come to my house and go, hey, I'd really like a milkshake, I will take 10 minutes to make you a milkshake. And you go, yeah, it took them 10 minutes to make a milkshake. No big deal. When you're in a restaurant, you want it now. And there's just this mentality. And I'll tell you, honestly, I never could remember my orders. So I always wrote down every order, whether it was one person, two person, if somebody said Pepsi, I would write down the word Pepsi. And I would go get them the Pepsi, and then I'd come back and I'd scratch it off my list. I was literally like, I couldn't retain information.
You're 30 Seconds Steve.
Yeah, yes. I really was. I went 10 seconds, Steve. But like, so like, I was that bad, like where I would really write down stuff. But what I would do is when I had like, especially large tables, I would write down, so I'd go through and I'd start taking everybody's order. And then, so like, okay, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I want a steak. I want a burger. I want this. I want that. Now, from the time I take the first order till the time I take the 10th order, already 5, 6, 10, whatever minutes have passed by. So that first guy is thinking, I ordered my food at 1 o'clock.
1:05, I ordered my food. At 1:06, you left the table.
No,
I didn't get my food at 1:25.
You ordered your food at 1 o'clock. By the time your last buddy has asked me 17 questions about the menu, I am now like 10 minutes later. You have already waited 10 minutes for your food, and I haven't even got the whole table's order. So then I go back, I put in the order, and it's not like I don't open up a system and Siri goes, what would you like? And I go, I want a cheeseburger, medium rare, I want a steak, this, I want a this, I want a salad, I want a blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You have to type in that whole order. That takes whatever amount of time that takes. But from the time you order your food to the time the last person orders their food to the time that I actually walk back and put in the order, a decent bit of time has gone by. Your food started 20 minutes after you ordered it sometime. It was like a big party and stuff. I'm slightly exaggerating. But what happens is when I would write down orders, I would write down the whole order, and then I'd look at my watch and I would write down 12:05 or whatever time it was. I'd put down the time, get everything through, and I started writing down the time because I learned that whenever I come back, people would go, we've been waiting for half an hour. And I go, dude, I put your food in at 11:33. It is now 11:38. You've been waiting 5 minutes, not half an hour. You maybe walked in the front door and said hello to the hostess half an hour ago, but you've only been waiting this much time. And of course, you don't say it like that. You go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll try to hurry up your food. But really, then you think this guy's an asshole, and you don't rush his food. I bring everybody else's food out except for the dude who complained. Which, that does happen, okay? All the stuff you hear in the movies about people spitting your food, that never ever happens. Nobody puts your food on the floor. Nobody messes with your food. But you will wait for your food if you're a D-bag. So don't be a D-bag to your server.
Sounds fair.
Lesson learned. No, I mean, if your food's taking an hour and you say something like, hey, man, is our food coming anytime soon? That's a totally different thing. If you attack it if you respect the fact that the person is waiting and you're not like, bring me my food now, I could have made it by now. If you don't start saying stuff like that, very different thing. But when you get somebody that's excessively an asshole, that person waits for their food, or their food comes out maybe a little bit wrong. You ordered fries, and for some reason we forgot your fries. It's because you were a butthole, not because we forgot your fries. So, salads and desserts are usually like the big thing, depending on where you go, and depending on where our listeners are. King's Restaurant. I didn't work at a King's, but I will tell you, I will never order a dessert from King's because I am fairly certain those people will hate me for the rest of their life. And if I ever run into them someday in like a grocery store and they recognize me, because they will remember you, they will punch me in the nose. So don't order dessert from King's because they make all their own desserts. Nothing is prepped there. But that's basically generally what happens in, having worked in a restaurant for 12 years, I have become sympathetic towards other restaurants. And I know what to look for. Like when you work in a job, you know what to keep an eye out for. You know what things happen. Like when I sit down at a table and my server goes, "I'll be with you in 1 second," I look at how many other tables that person has. You would probably never think to do that because you don't know to look for that. I do know to look for that. So it's just a matter of professional courtesy, I suppose. That I understand that when you order a dessert, when you order a salad, don't assume that person brings it in, walks back in the kitchen, and somebody goes, "Here's your salad," because I have that set of problems that I just went through. The cooks have a whole nother set of problems.
Right.
And the bartender, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
To be fair, the only time that I've ever gotten upset about my milkshake taking a while was when it took 2 hours. But then I was much more understanding about that because my 40-year-old server almost got into a fist fight with the kitchen girl out behind the restaurant, and 2 tables of teenage boys went racing out the front door and ran around the back to try and film it. I'm like,
that's awesome.
I totally
sounds
understand. I'm not going to blame you.
Right. Well, and here's the thing: as a server, like I said, I write everything down, but you still, even though I wrote everything down, there were definitely times where I forgot stuff. Like I remember people leaving the restaurant and me going back into my book and going, "Oh, I never brought them mayonnaise." And that dude was super cool, and they tipped me really well, but clearly he was like, "This dude never brought me my mayonnaise." Right. And some people get it.
You go to your car, "Hello, server. You forgot my mayonnaise." Someone's gonna forget about your life tonight.
I gotta start sending out a busboy to start my car, and that is the end of my shift. But different,
Sure,
and it's
they'll
like every
explode.
job, everybody has their own things. But like, I think one thing that everybody can kind of sort of relate to is.
You went on for like 6 minutes about this.
Oh, I was very passionate about that.
Exactly.
I had
In a previous episode, Jonah, we were talking. He was talking about how he can go on forever. He ran for about 2 minutes and ran out of steam.
I didn't
That's
run out of
impressive.
steam. What I did was decide that it was bad showmanship and decided to end it there. I could have went on a lot longer. But it's like
That's
any job you have. I know, really, this show's half an hour, and I'm pretty sure it's like usually 28 minutes of me talking and like 2-3 minutes of everybody else going, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Because I don't shut up.
That's fine. So, do we want to film another 2 minutes, or do we want to just kill it?
Absolutely, let's film another 2 minutes.
Okay.
I can't be the only one that has something to say about anything.
So,
I hear that if they say the milkshake machine at McDonald's is broken, it's not actually.
The milkshake
Never
anywhere
broken.
ever,
Never broken.
never has been broken. Never. Milkshake machines are built out of the same things that Wolverine is built out of. They are indestructible. Honest to God, I have seen dudes go, "I hate this place," pick up the milkshake machine, whale it at the ground, and it is bounced right back into the spot where it belonged, and somebody came by and made a milkshake off of it. You cannot break a milkshake machine.
in Southside was a bar I like going to at Scott, and they had this thing called the Volcano. It was a drink you needed 3 people to drink it. But every time we went, they could never make it for some strange reason. I think they just didn't want to make it, so they kept telling us they couldn't make it.
Well, that's the McDonald's. Yeah, I hear that's the McDonald's deal.
No, there are certain things where, and here's the thing: if you come in, say like at lunchtime, and you are the only table in a restaurant, and you go, "I'd like to have a milkshake," your server will go, "Absolutely, it's like a $3 bump on your check, so I'm gonna make a couple more bucks out of it, and I'm doing literally nothing else. I'm gonna ring in your food, I'm gonna make your milkshake, and by the time I'm done making your long ass milkshake, your food's gonna be up, so I'm not wasting any time at all." If you come in and if you walk into a restaurant and the hostess says it'll be 10 minutes before we get you sat and you order a milkshake, I guarantee you the machine will be broken. Joel, would you like to tell the audience what I'm doing? Because I know you love to do
For the
that.
audience listeners at home, Joe is doing air quotes.
The milkshake machine is never, ever, 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 ever broken. Not once. Never has that happened. And I don't care what machine they say is broken, it is not broken. Now, legitimately, I will tell you this. I can't tell you how many times. I've had days where, like, people come in. There's, like, 10 people at the table, and the first guy goes, "Can I get a root beer?" And I go, "We're out of root beer." And the next guy goes, "Can I get a steak salad?" And I go, "Oh, I'm out of steak." And the next guy goes, "Well, can I get this burger?" And I go, "You know what? We ran out of mushrooms." And legitimately, we're out of all those things. We run out of stuff all the time. Ran out of stuff whenever I worked there. All the time. That does happen because you cannot predict how many mushrooms you need to make it through the week.
Oh,
like
but
that's
you
just
can.
not. But no, you cannot.
All you do is you take all the previous orders from previous months, and then you run some algorithms, and they can tell you exactly how much stuff to order.
You know what? And that's a genius idea, and that's literally exactly what they do. You know how many times that works out? 0 times.
I'm being sarcastic.
Ever.
I'm being super sarcastic, by the way.
Right.
Because that's how when I worked at Ames, that's how they would do the hours for Ames. They would use the previous data to figure out how many hours they should have worked for that time of year, that day of the week, that hour or that shift.
You have to bring in a psychic. Who knows what's gonna happen? You don't know. You're just guessing. You're predicting. You're the weatherman, basically. You're like, I don't know. I think it might rain or something. You don't fucking know. You make shit up.
I'd rather figure out quantum physics than figure that out.
And with that, folks. And by the way, nothing dirty or naughty coming out of your mouth when I say with that, folks. Because the last episode, every time I say something good, you end the podcast. I'm in the podcast and it's 31 minutes.
Penis.
Envy.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Tip the bartender. You know the drill.
Bye.